As a closing thought, I'd like to let you know that your investments are going into a program that is developing young African American leaders that will be strong enough to lift up our race as a whole, and we can rise as a people. Thank you.
I have the message, young people. Those of you who are sitting here who know that you're capable of being more and doing more, our communities need you. And we take the mission seriously, and we expect you to do it as well. And that we measure success by how you impart your talents and skills to our communities. That's how we measure success, not by whether or not this has helped you get into a particular college. We are quite confident as we look out at you that all of you are going to do great things. We can see it in your eyes, and we can see it in the support that your parents give you. So we will not be taking credit for you getting into colleges or even good colleges. We will take credit for whether or not you begin to understand the message that your success has to be measured in terms of what you do for other people.
And go! ALP, 1, 2, 3, hey! We are Group 19. We got ALP, 1, 2, 3, hey! We are Group 19. Crazy, baby, baby. Crazy, baby.
Nice. Work. Uh-oh. Oh, do the wheelbarrow. Oh, stake it. Oh, rake it. Oh, stake it. Right, rake it. Oh, yeah, wheelbarrow.
In our presence, such as Terry Woodard, who has been working with Morehouse for a long time. Thank you. Mr. Spencer Gibbs as well has joined us here. And any conversation about leadership should not simply include those who are 20 and above, but must include young people. And I want to acknowledge two sets of young people who are seated front row and center. They are students from Achieving Leadership's Purpose. Please raise your hands. In fact, stand up and wave to the audience. These are outstanding students in the leadership program that I sit on the advisory board for. They learn about leadership and their culture.
Our younger and older generation are greatly separated. So when a child is born, like, they look up to their family. And Mr. Young, you said, Mayor Young, sorry, you said that who am I passing the torch to and what am I passing? But what do we do with the parents who are passing the wrong torches? If he was brought up wrong, do you blame him for being wrong?
Okay, and I'm glad that you asked the question, and I think it's so important. I think this young man deserves a hand. I can say with a great deal of certitude, my son would not be walking around with pants on the ground, okay? Because of two things. Number one, I would have taught him better, teaching him about his past and the responsibility that he has to those shoulders that he stands upon. Secondly, I would be in the household. This is not just a by-chance drive-through lesson. You see, I would be there, you see, as a parent, as a man, you see, to make sure that I set the right example.
We're here because of Morehouse County. There were and are a lot of young men who did not have the social grace.
I've never had been a girl. Half note static without rhythm. No tune. This struck like the falling over black girl's shoulder. It's funny. It's hysterical. The melodiousness of her dance. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell soul. She's dancing on big heads and shit. This must be the schoolhouse. Another song, no singer's lyrics. I've seen performances. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell soul. Are we ghouls? Children of horror?
And tell me, you know, and for the folks who are watching, you know, personally, how has ALP helped you, you know, proceed or progress in your life and maybe help you get to the point where you are in your career currently?
Well, without a doubt, the ALP caused me to think politically and critically during formative years, last couple of years in high school. And that led me on to making important decisions about post-secondary education and even my future. I remember we read, one of the books we read in the program was Before the Mayflower by LaRon Bennett. And in it, they described Thurgood Marshall's role with the desegregation of schools and then being on the Supreme Court later. That's what led me to pursue a career in law, go to law school. So really, it had a very tangible impact in that regard. In general, just important leadership skills, important networking, and all of it, you know, has continued to be important in terms of my continued professional and personal development.
And we look to see how our characters are and how we will be leaders in the future. And another aspect is feedback. And as a family, we all need feedback. And having our brothers and sisters at the retreats is very helpful for us to see how we can better ourselves as leaders. And these retreats have been very influential on all of us, and we really love each other because of this.
Look, let me show you. No,
Actually, you guys are going to be in the way. People, I think, are going to serve themselves here.
Oh, okay.
Sit over there.
We got to wait.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Can we take a couple pictures with us?
Everything that happened, the reactions of the people, and how
I have so many words that I hope I can get them in time. Basically, ALP changed my life. It was an opportunity for me to learn as a black woman where I came from, and that I stand tall because I stand on the shoulders of so many who came before me, and to appreciate my history that I wasn't being taught in school. It was a very, very aggressive program, a lot of extra work and reading in addition to regular schoolwork, but it made me a better person. It made all of us appreciate our history.
Sorry. Be red. Listen up. Listen, boys and girls, society's a devil, but don't control the world. You can turn your head and another person's dead, but what evil comes with good? So give another twirl and learn that your future is earned. Let the knowledge just stir, but new generations bring concern. But ALP, here to let the good return. It's a gift.
We can show you how to rap up in ALP and TMB. We hit a body.
You see me on my car, baby. Better future is all I see. Give it up for that M19. When we put in what will be. Give it up for M19. When we put in what will be. Give it up for ALP. We put in what will be.
I don't like to brag too much, but nobody ever asked me about the ALP, so here's my last hurrah. You're going to get involved now with dealing, and this, I think there's nothing more important than a program like this. Look at young people today. They're lost, so many of them. No direction, no guidance. Nobody to challenge them. ALP, your peers were challenging you. A kid would come in ALP and think he or she was, you know, God's gift to the world. I'm smart, I'm doing well in school, I'm this, I'm that. And they get into ALP, and then they meet another kid who's much smarter than they are, doing much more than they were doing. And that was the challenge. They fed each other, they fed off each other. And I think that enabled them to grow and develop as they went along. Were there disappointments? Some. We had to let some go because our statement was, this has to be primary. This is not secondary. So if you're the big shot basketball star and you're having a big game and you have to miss a weekend, you have to miss the program. That's right. Yeah, you got to go. So, and the others, I think, understood that. But this is not, there's a no-nonsense deal here. These people are serious. And that was it. Did we get any vocation? Go ahead and ask me. Did you get any vocations in the leadership? Yeah! Come on! We got one! What, a PhD from from MIT, one engineer. He became a Jesuit priest, although not even one of us.